All right, guys, we set up the tent there, a little time-lapse video, kind of show the tent and the sleep system. And so I'm going to flip this camera around, go over a few of the highlights, talk about what I'll be doing in the desert as opposed to the mountains. Let me flip this phone around. Okay, guys, hopefully I got that flipped around right. So what we have here is the Sierra Design Flashlight 2 ultralight single wall tent with two rather large vestibules. This tent has done me well on the Colorado Trail. It does have its own complications with any single wall tent. You have condensation issues, temperature issues, because a lot of the vents can't be covered up. There's a lot lighter tents, there's a lot smaller tents, but I like a two-person tent. I like to have all my gear inside with me rather than sitting outside. And we'll look inside the tent here. We can see that my uprights are used to with my trekking poles, and we can see that in the video where I use the trekking poles for the uprights, so that makes it a little bit lighter. For the sleep system, for the sleeping bag, I have the Marmot Sawtooth 15 degree 650 down fill Defender, and I'll be using that in the desert. Sea to Summit pillow, I'm not sure the name of that, but I'll put it in the description. And the Nemo Switchback foam liner, and that's what I'll be using in the desert. When it comes to the Sierra Mountains, I'll have all of that, plus the Axle Air insulated 20 by 72 inflatable mattress for comfort, and of course for temperature, to keep me a little bit warmer and keep my body off the ground. If it gets too cold, then I have what's called a thermal reactor Sea to Summit. Basically a liner is what it is, thermal light liner, and that's basically what this is. So if I get too cold, I can always put that on along with all my clothes. I did make some Tyvek doors just for the bigger vents, because on the cold nights that wind can come whipping through those vents, and yeah, it can get pretty chilly. Well, I'm gonna do a walk around to the tent. You see the two vestibules. The vestibules can be closed and staked out without the vestibules. They also helps with some wind and rain mitigation. One complication of this tent is you have to get out and retension several times, or you end up with a puddle right here, which I have had a couple of times. I've had frozen tent in the mornings, but that's to be expected. I'll put some details down in the description. Try to put a link to a gear list. Thanks, guys. Peace.